Hi you guys! Today I'm going to be doing my date night hair tutorial for you. This is actually really fast and easy like a lot of my tutorials. I do not like spending a ton of time on my hair because honestly, I don't have a ton of time to spend on my hair. I really don't. I usually don't spend more than about 20 minutes tops, and usually I'm like just run a brush through it and go. But this is a really pretty look that works amazing for a date night. Also, if you're just going out, going to the movies, going to a concert, but you want to look a little bit more dressed up, a little bit more fancy, this is a great way to do it, and it is very simple. Right now, my hair right now is just second day hair. Yesterday, all I did was I took a shower yesterday morning, washed my hair, conditioned it, and I let it air dry for about half the time, and then I finished it off with the blow dryer, and then I just flat ironed it because I have a ton of broken hairs here, and I don't like doing that much heat treatment to my hair, but the flat ironing really helps control those crazy short, flyaway, frizzy hairs, especially with how high the humidity has been. So just second day, nice straight smooth hair. If your hair's a little bit wild up here, just go ahead and grab your straightener or put a little bit of smoothing serum on to smooth it out, because you want it nice and fairly just smooth up there, because most of the curling is going to be from our ears down. So just grab a brush, and you're going to want a fairly deep part. When I'm doing a deep part, I like to go from the arch of my eyebrow straight up, and that's where I like to make my deep part at. Yours may be different depending on your face shape. Just make sure it's fairly dramatic. You don't want just a straight middle part for this. So go ahead and divide your hair in half in the back, bring it all forward, and just brush it out. The other nice thing about doing your hair this way is it doesn't require clipping it up into layers. If you have very thick hair, then you might want to clip it up do it in 2 layers. But for my hair, I have about medium thickness hair. I have very fine hair, but I have a lot of it. So I can just curl mine in 1 layer. Plus it helps keep my hair from getting that funny triangle shape when it's curled. Sorry if my light keeps changing. There's a cloud that keeps going in front of the sun out there, and lighting issues today are happening. So go ahead and make sure all your hair is divided in half. And then today I am just using a cheap Revlon curling wand. This I picked up on clearance at Target about 2 years ago for like $15, and it's just a clipless curling wand. It doesn't have any heat control, anything, just an on-off button. But I would definitely recommend using a clipless curling iron for this particular look, just because it's faster, it's easier, and you have a little bit more control. So what I like to do is I just like to start on the side where I have more hair. And I actually like to start curling my hair at the back. This may be a little bit weird, but for me it's easier. So I just take medium-sized sections, and we're curling in opposite directions. So the first one we're going to curl back, the second one we're going to curl forward. That way the curls don't all clump together. So I'm just taking the curling wand, and wrapping it around. I'm leaving just about 1 inch at the end out, not a whole lot. And I'm just going to let that sit for about 10 seconds. You may need to let yours sit longer or not quite as long, depending on the temperature of your iron. Alright, I flip my hand out of the iron and let go. That is a move that takes a little bit of practice, so if you aren't used to using clipless, I would suggest using a heat glove with it until you can do that without burning the daylights out of yourself. Okay, I'm going to let that curl down, and this is what your curl should look like. See how we only curled the bottom half of the hair. You don't want to do your curls all the way up here. I'm taking fairly decent sized sections, so okay, in this section we're going to do forwards. I'm so used to doing my hair in my bathroom and not in here that having such a small mirror and then my viewfinder, it's kind of like, this is odd, I can't quite see what I'm doing. The last two sections near the front, I always take slightly smaller sections just because I want to have a bit more control. Alright, and now for the front section. For the front, you always want to make sure that you are curling the front of your hair back. That way it goes away from your face and isn't trying to constantly flop in the way. Just going to curl that up. I tuck that little extra piece of hair in there as well. Ah. And if you don't manage to catch the curl, that's no big deal. But we're just going to let that side cool down, and we're going to do this side the exact same way. So I'm probably just going to speed through this section. Alright, once you have your curls all done, you want to let them sit until they cool completely. Alright, once your curls are completely cooled, I just like to go ahead and take my fingers and very gently shake them out. My hair is very prone to frizzing if I do too much, you know how some people will toss their head over, toss it back, flip it around. If I do that, my hair will frizz like there is no tomorrow. So I am really very gentle with it. So just go ahead and lightly comb out some of those curls. Then I like to take a pretty strong hairspray. This is the TRESemmé Tray 2 hairspray. This is number 4. It's extra firm control. Usually I use 2 or 3 for curls, but number 4 is what I have right now. This is also a humidity resistance hairspray, which again really helps my hair. So this is what I'm using today. Does anyone else do that face, you know, that, oh, please don't let this get in my mouth, in my nose kind of face when you're spraying hairspray, or is it just me? But I'm just like, don't want it near my face. Now, mind you, this stuff is super strong, so if you're using what I'm using, a little bit goes a super long way. Even after I hairspray, I usually fidget with my hair for a few minutes, just kind of playing with it, making sure the curls are where I like them. If it's starting to frizz, I will use a little bit of a smoothing serum, like my Pantene BB hair cream. I like using that. I also like using a little bit of Jump Free to Frizz Ease finishing serum. It's in an orange bottle, I believe. I like using that as well. It's really good for helping if your hair becomes just that little bit frizzy after curling. And here's the finished hair. So you can see it's got some pretty strong curls in it, but it still has a lot of movement to it. It looks very shiny, very healthy, and it doesn't take that long to do. Honestly, looking at my timer, it probably only took me about, I'd say 3 to 5 minutes to curl each side of my head. So it's really good because I have fairly long hair. Now, of course, don't forget, if you want softer curls, you can go ahead and hold the hair on the curling iron for less time than I did. you can comb through the curls with your fingers a little bit more and let them relax and fall a little bit before you go ahead and add your finishing hairspray. Those can all help make your curls just a little bit more softer and more flowy if that's what you're going for. But for me, my hair does not hold curl very well. My curl will usually fall fairly flat within about 3 to 4 hours, just because my hair is naturally so stick straight. So for me, I always over curl. So this is definitely a little bit over curled. Over the next, 15-20 minutes, this will really relax and become very soft, very wavy, and you end up with that sweet, romantic curled hair look. So I hope that this tutorial was helpful for you, especially if you're like me and you don't have a lot of time to do your hair or to get ready for going out. Like I said, it only took about 3 to 5 minutes per each side of my head, plus finishing and cooling time. So it only took me about 10 to 15 minutes total to do this, which is really quick for a pretty finished look. If you guys have any questions on anything that I used or anything that I didn't cover on getting this look, any comments, or you just want to say hi, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps out my channel. And if you haven't yet, I would love it if you'd subscribe to my channel as well. You can also keep up with me on JoannaBrooks.net and on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. I am pretty much everywhere, and all the links for those are in the down bar below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!